NASCAR celebrates its 75th anniversary this season, and May's All-Star Race takes the sport back to its roots at an historic venue.
We're at the famous North Wilkesboro Speedway. Hasn't had a NASCAR race here, ran here since 1996. It's set dormant from that time until where we're at today. There's some that will say between Daytona and Wilkesboro this was the first track. Others say Daytona was the first track. We'll let the historians fight that out. But the team here in North Wilkesboro, they really realized once it went away how bad and how much it meant to them and how bad it was that it went away. They wanted the racetrack to come back, NASCAR to come back to this famous speedway.
Nobody could believe that we'd ever get that track back. It's been closed 25 years. A lot of people had attempted, but nothing had happened. They had the revival racing, and then they announced the All-Star Race. What that will do for this community is so powerful because there's a whole week of activities for the All-Star Race. Just a huge boost to our economy and a huge hope and faith that people will realize that we've got racing back. And this is great for our community. It's part of our heritage.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea. And I don't know the last time that I can remember an all-star race being the most look-forward event of the season. I made some laps in 2010 at North Wilkesboro Speedway when they had cleaned the facility off and just trying to get some momentum started. So it's taken that long. That was 13 years ago. I love the fact that it ties in the nostalgia of North Wilkesboro Speedway to the 75th anniversary. People love throwback events. North Wilkesboro is a great short track. The asphalt's worn out, and I think it's going to be a fantastic event.
I think it is awesome that we are going back to North Wilkesboro for the All-Star Race. That place is so iconic with NASCAR history. I think I was 12 years old the last time there was a Cup Series race there. I have great memories of being a kid watching races at North Wilkesboro on TV and just thinking that that is the classic atypical NASCAR short track.
While all the legends raced at the circuit, perhaps their most famous son is Junior Johnson, a local driver whose last Cup Series win came at the track in 1965.
The checkered flag drops, and that means Junior's last signal from his jubilant pit crew is that worldwide symbol of success, the American dollar sign.
The last American hero then had multiple more victories as an owner with Cale Yarborough and Darrell Waltrip. He was also involved with Moonshine.
My dad and Junior, they was like best friends for, they growed up in the same town, and they was both in the moonshine business. And Junior used to help my dad keep his cars, helped him work on them, make sure he stayed ahead of the law, and they kind of worked together in the industry.
Call Family Distillers are sponsors of the circuit, and the connection between fast cars running illegal moonshine and whiskey through the hills of Wilkes County made it a natural place for one of NASCAR's first racetracks.
Well, as one of the birthplaces of NASCAR in 1947, and these cars around us helped that happen with all these moonshiners staying ahead of the federal agents, chasing them on the road. They learned that years ago that people on Saturday night would come out and see who had the fastest moonshine car. These guys would draw a big crowd, and they figured out they could build a track, and people would come watch them run. And the first race, I think 10,000 people showed up.
While the old moonshine cars still take pride of place at the now legal distillery, back at the Speedway, the renovation is also full of nostalgia. The track will not be repaved until after the All-Star Race at the request of the drivers.
The character and the nostalgia of the racetrack and the worn out surface and everything that makes North Wilkesboro what it is going to stay intact. They're making some improvements to the facilities, the grandstands, the concession stand, all of those things, but as far as the racing surface, that is going to remain how it's always been.
When you go there, you'll have to feel the asphalt. It is like a cheese grater to tires, and it will rip them up so quick that a driver that just wants to go fast and prove, hey, I'm faster than you, well, if that's a 20-lap race, he's going to be lapped in 10. It just destroys the tires, and For a race car driver, it's as much a mental battle as it is anything to just hold yourself back, almost like a jockey where he's holding his horse back until that final run where he's just going to go blowing by everybody.
After the success of last year's racetrack revival, All-Star Week is guaranteed to be special. With only 30,000 seats, it's the hottest ticket in NASCAR, and for those fans who attend and the millions who watch on TV, it'll be a great 75th anniversary throwback.
This is one of those projects that all the stars aligned, and it definitely meant something to not only just us as the ownership group, the city itself and the county, but NASCAR, the drivers, and definitely the fans. You know, naturally, we've been told since I've worked here 20 years that we're working for the fans because this is something they've asked for, and the excitement around it, it's been really rewarding to be part of bringing it back to life and bringing that to the county and bringing it to the fans.